All right, so let's talk about triangle similarity. So there are three shortcuts to prove triangles similar. Remember with congruent triangles, there were 5 ways. Here with similar triangles, there's 3 different shortcuts. So the first one will be AA, or angle-angle similarity. And so what you're looking for here is if you have 2 angles in one triangle congruent to 2 angles of another, then the 2 triangles are similar. And that should make sense with the triangle angle sum. If they have 2 angles that are the same, the third one will also be the same. So that makes the triangle similar. The next way you can determine if triangles are similar are by side-side-side similarity. So we know congruent triangles also had a side-side-side, but this one's a little different. So this one, you need 3 sets of sides that are proportional to each other. So you have to actually check the ratio to make sure that the sides are actually proportional to each other. Versus when they were congruent, you were just looking at, you had 3 congruent sides. Then you have side angle side similarity. So again, you're looking for 2 pair of sides in the triangles that are proportional to each other, and then you want the included angle in between those given sides to be congruent. So the angles are congruent and they have to be included, meaning in between the 2 sides. And then the sides have to be proportional. So again, you have to check to make sure that the sides are actually proportional. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of practice. So we're going to look at this one and we're going to determine if the triangles are similar, and if they are, how. So one of the reasons I really like the similar triangles is because we can start doing process of elimination. Okay, if I look at this picture, what's given to me? Well, as of right now, I only see angles. So I know I won't be using side, side, side. And I know I won't be using side, angle, side because there were no sides given. So now I have to check, is it angle, angle, or is it not similar or not enough information to say it's similar? So if I look here, we have 2 angle measures. So I know 75 is congruent to the 75, so that works. And the 31-degree angle is congruent to the 31-degree angle. So we have 2 sets of angles in each triangle. So now we know that this should be angle, angle. These 2 triangles are similar by angle, angle. All right, let's try another one. So we want to determine if these triangles are similar. So what do we have in this picture? Looks like I have a set of angles or a pair of angles. That's all I have. I have no sides. So I automatically know it's not side, side, side. It's not side, angle, side. Now we need to check. Is it going to be angle, angle, or is there not enough information, or can we prove they're not similar? So I know I have 1 set of congruent angles because they gave me that. Could I find another? And in this case, I can, because you always know those vertical angles are congruent to each other, so you can go ahead and mark them. So they might not always tell you, but you can go ahead and mark them. So now if I look at my picture, for each one, I have 2 sets of congruent angles. So these are congruent, similar by angle, angle. Okay. All right, let's try another one. So we want to determine if the triangles are similar. What do we have? Well, I don't have any angles given. They didn't give me any angles, so I know it's not angle, angle. And I know it's not going to be side, angle, side because I wasn't given any information about angles. So it's either going to be side, 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 or it's going to be not similar. You don't have enough information. Here's where people fall into a trap. They don't check. They just see 3 sides and you don't check. We're not looking for the 3 sides to be congruent. We actually have to check the ratios to see if the sides are actually proportional. So what I like to do is I like to label small, medium, and large in each triangle. So this is the small here. That's the small one there. The 4 is the medium one here, or the middle one. The 8 is the middle. And then the 5 is the large on this triangle. And there's the large. So now I like to just check the ratios. Small over small. And I keep consistent. I pulled from this one first. So I'm going to pull from this one second. So 3/6, you can either just simplify it or put it in a calculator to get a decimal approximation. Use Desmos. I'm just going to simplify this here. This simplifies to 1/2. Okay, great. So now let's try the medium ones or the middle ones. So we're gonna do 4 over 8. And you see I'm consistent. My top number came from this smaller triangle because that's what I did in the previous one. And if I simplify 4 over 8, I get to 1/2 as well. Well, let's try the last one. Let's try the largest. So we got large, we got 5 over 10. And when I simplify those, I'm down to 1/2 as well. Well, now that I can see all three simplify to the same ratio, which tells you that the sides are proportional. So this one is similar by side, side, side. Now, just because you see 3 sets of sides does not automatically assume that it's side, side, side. You actually have to go and check the ratios. All right, next one. What do we have? What can we eliminate? I see all sides. I don't see any angles. So I'm going to cross off angle, angle, because that's not going to be an option. And then I'm going to cross off side, angle, side, because I don't have any angles. So therefore, it's either going to be side, 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 or it's going to be not similar, not enough info. So again, I am going to label. So 30 is my small, 24 is my small, 32 is my middle, 25 is my middle, and 35 is my large, and 28 is my large over there. So again, I'm actually going to set up my proportions or my ratios to see what they look like. So let's start with the small. And I'm just going to do the left triangle over the right triangle. You could do the other way, as long as you're consistent. So I'm going to do 30 over 24. Okay. And so this one, I'm going to say, what if I just type this into the calculator, which is viable. You can simplify it like we just did before. Just trying to show you another way. So if I did 30 divided by 24, this one gives me 1.25. Okay. And if you'd have liked to simplify this, this would have been 5/4. Okay. So either way. Okay. So let's try the middle one. Let's go left over right. So we got 32 over 25. So when I do that in calculator, this gives me 1.28. Wait a second. Those two are different. Okay. So automatically I could stop right there. I know these triangles are not similar because they don't all have the same ratio. They're not all proportional. But I'm going to go ahead for kicks and do the last one. So we'll do 35 divided by 28 because we did left over right. And then when we do that, this one comes to, where's my, here we go, 1.4. You see? Oh, sorry. Wrong. That's 1.25. Sorry about that. So as we can see, 2 of them are the same, but the third one, that middle one, is not. That's enough to tell you that these are not similar. So it's not side, side, side. These are not similar, or you don't have enough info. So make sure you check, because you just can't assume that because they give you 3 sides on each triangle that this has to be side, side, side. You actually have to go check the proportions and the ratios to make sure they're good. All right, so now when I look at the next one, what do I have here in this picture? Well, I have 1 angle and 2 sides, and I got 1 angle and 2 sides. So I know it's not angle, angle. I know it's not side, side, side. So I'm either looking at side, angle, side, or not similar. So the angle in between the 2 sides, it's where it needs to be. Those are congruent. So the angle piece of this is correct. But now we have to check the sides, and we have to see if the sides are proportional. So you actually still have to go check that. So the 8 is the small, 6 is small over here, and then we'll just call 20, we'll call it large. Okay. So now let's do small over small. We do 8 over 6, and I'm just going to simplify that. So I end up with 4 over 3. Now I'm going to do the same one for the other set of sides. So we have 20 over 15. And And let's simplify it, or you could put it in the calculator. So I can simplify this by 5, and we end up with 4/3. And look here, both of these are the same. So now we know the sides are proportional, and the angle in between is congruent. So therefore, these are similar by side angle side. All right, next one. Now this one becomes a little tricky because we gotta at least make sure we understand what triangles we're looking at. So here we have them, they overlap each other. There's one. And then you have the big one. Okay, so we gotta make sure we're looking at the two. Okay, so what kind of information are we given here? So we know which ones to eliminate. Well, they didn't give me the angles. So I know I don't have at least 2 sets of angles. So I'm getting rid of that one. I don't have 3 sets of sides. And somebody might say, well, I don't have 2 sets of sides and an angle either. And maybe jump down to not similar. But I caution you, because these overlap, they have this reflexive angle. So they share it. Okay? So we're either looking at side angle side or not similar. In this case, we know they both share that purple angle that I just marked. So the angle is going to be congruent because it's reflexive. The reflexive angle is congruent. We now have to check the sides to see if they are actually proportional. So again, if I do the green triangle, the small side is the 12. If I do the big blue triangle, 21 would be the small. Again, get in the habit of labeling. And then over here, the large is 15 and the large is 25. So then again, I'm just going to do small over small. And I'm going to do green over blue. So 12 divided by 21. Okay. And then if I simplify that, 3 divided by 3, so it's 4/7. Okay. Now let's do the green. So again, the green triangle over the blue one. So I'm going to do 15 over 25. And I'm going to simplify that. And I can simplify this by 5. So this simplifies 3/5. Well, hold on. These don't simplify to the same thing. So these would not be similar. And so this is important that you make sure you always check the sides. Always check the sides and make sure they're proportional before you determine which one of these you have. Okay? And that's it.